it makes sense from their perspective. The interesting part is the market's turned pretty tough on the real estate agent side of the business. So it's an interesting time to be raising fees unless you can tie it to a very specific increase in value simultaneously. And that's just my opinion, right? Here you have an extremely competitive real estate market, both on the consumer and agent side and the broker and agent side. And you have a company that is trying to increase their revenue by adding a fee versus adding more agents or helping those agents be more productive or offering ancillary products and services. Those are the three kind of primary ways of generating revenue, usually in a brokerage. Raising the fees is also a way. It's just a risky way, depending on how you can tie it to value and the competitive nature of the current industry.
2 weeks ago, if you were to go to Wall Street and ask people to place bets on what they thought the Fed was going to do, the general consensus was that based on the numbers that had been coming out on the economy, that the Fed would probably raise the interest rate yet again and go back to a 50 basis point raise. Well, that all changed, right? Last Thursday, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank collapsed. By the way, the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank actually caused interest rates to drop, and that included mortgage rates. So do you have any thoughts around this?
Well, first of all, Bruce, for anyone listening that hadn't previously heard of Silicon Valley Bank, let's put that in perspective. They were one of the top 20 commercial banks in the world. So I had never heard of them because I don't bank there, to be frank. But that doesn't mean that they weren't huge. So the fact that they collapsed was absolutely big news. No doubt it will have an impact on how the Fed is thinking and potentially the action that they're going to be taking around inflation. Oftentimes when something like that hits the marketplace, hits the news waves, right, it can lead to some fear and therefore some action, right? People say, oh my gosh, my money's not safe. It's not safe in the bank. So I need to find something that it's safe in, right? And a lot of that money tends to move into, or some of it tends to move into hard assets.
The Hispanic homeownership rate rose to 48.6% in 2022. And that's despite affordability challenges. This is the 8th consecutive year of growth. So what do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's fantastic, Bruce. I think anytime there's growth in homeownership in any community, right? Frankly, in my opinion, is great because we know what owning a home can lead to in terms of building wealth and a whole bunch of other great things that homeownership offers. So it's great to see, despite some of the market challenges that we've experienced over the last year, the challenge around affordability. That has not gone away. So the fact that the homeownership in the Hispanic community continues to go up despite that is kind of a little bit of a sigh of relief for me, and certainly for those that are able to achieve that kind of dream, right? So I think it's always good, Bruce, and I'd love to see the real estate community, the agent community rather, take note of some of these communities that have opportunity. What bigger responsibility and opportunity to do what we do professionally, but for a group of people that could really use the support in getting there, right? And certainly changing potentially the dynamic of their family tree long term.